Welcome to Inside the Spin with Jay Fin and my man DJ Dex. Man, what a week in sports, man. It was pretty sweet. Our Packers won. Not only did they win, they won in style. They played very, very well. And I'm gonna say, besides the Crosby thing, but all three phases, I think they played solid enough to win the game. But what you think, DJ Dex?
Man, it looked good right away from starting out. Rams' first drive, our defense put them to a 3-and-out, and Packers started off, like they have most of the year. Our first drives have been very, very good, usually leading to a score. But yeah, that opening drive, even still, we had 3 drops on that opening drive. We had that St. Brown, I think, was on the sideline, dropped one, and then you had MVS dropping a tough touchdown catch.
A tough one.
And then Lazard right after, which kind of took the wind out of the sails a little bit, led to only a field goal. But still, against that number one defense, I'll take a field goal on that first drive, and it just led to more. We kept on rolling, so it was a really good game for sure.
Absolutely, man. I thought once again the Packers played well. It was a great LA defense coming into Lambeau Field also.
Yeah.
And for the most part, I thought Aaron Rodgers in that offense game planned pretty well to keep the mismatches all over the field because they kept moving, motion, and create mismatches. So I thought they did well getting Devontae open, especially in the red zone area. And man, what a game! And now we're looking forward to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers now, and the Packers have a test just because of Tom Brady and his experience of this caliber game. As far as a ton of butterflies, and it's a game to go get that Lombardi Trophy.
Yeah, and it's going to be another one against another tough defense, and their defense is clicking right now. Obviously, if you watch Sunday's game, which everybody did, man, their defense was just flying around the field and made Drew Brees look pretty bad in his final game in the NFL. So they came to play, and that Devin White is no joke. Obviously, we're going to have to deal with Sue and that defensive line of theirs. But, we're going to have to do similar things that we did against the Rams. Obviously, the whole week coming in to this Rams game was all, hey, number one defense. They're going to have to deal with Aaron Donald and everything. And like you said, we handled them really well with that first touchdown that Devontae had. That was stuff that we talked about last week, where it's going to be a lot of pre-snap motion and just getting him mismatched with Ramsey and finding him some openings like we did on that first touchdown that he had. And you could tell Ramsey was pissed right away, just kind of blaming other guys. So that's the same kind of stuff that we're going to need to do, and just have LaFleur find some offensive openings, and we're going to have to score and not make mistakes, especially in this weather that we're supposed to be getting some snow in Lambeau. So we'll see.
And like you said, it's one of those games where the less MAs, the less turnovers. And the little details, fine details in a game like this counts, especially going against a Tom Brady, where now he has a ton of weapons. As Antonio Brown, you have Mike Evans, and many more good receivers. So this is that game where he may be using them guys, or he has to go to he got a powerful running game, as we've seen in the Superdome against the Saints, where he got a two-headed monster there.
Yeah,
and them guys run very, very hard. So our defense and our linebackers, which we have a linebacker, the core is pretty banged up. So them guys are going to have to come downhill and fill gaps and play that Lambeau football, because, like you said, it's going to be a ton of snow.
Yeah, I think honestly the run game is going to be relied on a lot more this week than it was this previous week. And obviously Tampa, I think, is going to rely on their run game a lot more with Fournette and Ronald Jones, because those two they ran really well against New Orleans, and very, very tough. But yeah, I mean, even going back to this Rams game, we're not going to be able to make mistakes that we did against that Rams team. I mean, that Lazard drop touchdown was a huge one where that would have opened up the game right there and basically been a dagger in the third quarter. And granted, he came back and made that touchdown catch later. But I mean, that's stuff that we're not going to be able to make those same mistakes. And even I'm thinking before that second half or the first half ended.
First half, yes.
Rodgers found Tunyon. We're marching down the field, and then he had back-to-back plays that should have been picked off.
Yeah, and that was huge. And in the end zone, two big. And them are the plays where Rodgers gets that knack for the end zone, and he feels like I don't think Rodgers has he don't know how to just dump the ball off. It's always got to be a shot play, which sometimes it benefits him, and sometimes, like we've seen this past Saturday, that it doesn't benefit him because there were two incomplete and almost interception passes. So them are the plays we cannot have.
And I get what he's trying to do. Obviously, before the half, we're trying to get these points up on the board against that tough defense. But at the same time, I mean, if they would have caught those, which they should have, you're taking those 3 points that we ended up getting right off the board, which would have been huge too. So, yeah, those are mistakes that we can't make because, I mean, I'm sure the same thing isn't going to happen against Tampa, and those will be catches that get made and interceptions that are made. So that's a big thing for me this week is it's going to come down to who makes the mistakes, especially in a tough weather game like this where turnovers can happen a little bit easier. You're a little more cold. The ball can be a little more slippery in the snow. That one fumble or one pick is going to change a game. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's what the Buccaneers or the Green Bay Packers needs is one of those. It's going to be an adversity or a momentum switch during the course of a game, and either or team's going to have to know how to respond to that. I know Coach is doing probably a good job in preparing them guys there with the Packers because he's been doing it the whole season, being a very, very well-oiled machine over there with the Packers. So I'm looking forward to that game. Like we said, Tom Brady's he's been here. So we gotta rally that guy. The Smith brothers, they gotta have the best game of their career. That's what they gotta get to Tom Brady because he's a guy that gets the ball out very quick. So if we can get him on his back and throwing off his back leg, I think the Packers can come out with this win.
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, we're the offensive or D line was getting after Goff this past game. Had a couple sacks between Gary, Kenny Clark, and those guys are coming on big too. Rashawn Gary has been playing really well. Zadarius and Preston, like you said, Smith brothers. I mean, they're gonna have to have the game of their lives.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I mean, we ended up coming out with a win against this Rams team. We had the Bills and Ravens after our game, which the Bills ended up coming up with a win with Lamar Jackson getting hurt. AFC games, they had both stud quarterbacks get hurt. With Mahomes getting hurt, which he should be playing this week. I'm not really worried about that. But I thought the Browns were going to maybe pull that W out after Mahomes went down.
Yeah, it was one of those things where that the backup Henny, he knew that he knew he had to Henny knew he had to come in and play ball and help the team get to victory because that for the Browns they thought it was in the bag because and Patrick went to the locker room and got done what he did, but man, that was a heck of a ball game. That the Browns played, and KC, the quarterback, came in and rallied and got that win. But man, what a game!
Yeah. So then we had that game, and then Buccaneers Saints after, which obviously is what we've been talking about a lot because that's what we're looking at to see who we're going to play next. Breeze, I thought got a little unlucky with his pass to Cook that kind of went through his hands and ended up getting picked off, which was a big late game changer. And that kind of was the seal for Tampa Bay. But going back to our first matchup, I wanted to touch on that because in our first game against Tampa Bay, we were rolling early. I don't know if you remember. I mean, we started off 10-0 against the Bucs, and we're looking good. And then Rodgers threw that first pick, and this was that would have been Devontae's first game back from injury.
Mm-hmm.
So
I remember that.
Yeah, might not have been like fully ready to go. And that first pick, that was Rodgers' first pick of the season, going to Devontae on that little out route, and he kind of put it a little too far inside, got jumped. Jamal Dean jumped it, took it 32 yards to the house, and that just switched like that, where all the momentum was like, oh, shit. And then very next drive, throws another pick off of a Devontae drop that went through his hands. And it was just like when I watched the Saints game, I was like, fuck, like that's exactly how that happened. It just ended up going through his hands and then bounced right into Tampa Bay's hands. Mike Edwards ended up getting a pick. And just like that, that took all the wind out of Green Bay's sails. And
that goes to tell you, DJ Dex, that during the course of a playoff game, NFC, and at that, an NFC Championship, you have to protect the ball. You have to create turnovers for Green Bay. For Tampa Bay, you have to create turnovers, and that's how the game's going to go. It's going to be a tit-for-tat game. Yeah, you got a quarterback over there with Tom Brady. He's not going to lay down, and it's this type of game where you see emotions come out from players, and not only players, especially from a superstar player. For Tom Brady, this is legacy. For Aaron Rodgers, this is legacy. So for Tom Brady, if he wins, you can call this guy the best athlete of all times, with LeBron, with Michael Jordan in it too. If you want to be honest, the guy wins with any coach. So with Aaron Rodgers, this will be a second one, bringing Lombardi Trophy where it's comfortable at, and it's back in Green Bay, Wisconsin. So this is going to be one of those games where every play counts, man.
I love that you said that, because that's actually something that I had written down to make sure to touch on today, was this matchup between the two of them. Because if Rodgers loses this, he's never hearing the end of it. Right. With all the GOAT talk and everything, and it's always between him and Brady. If you lose this one at home in Lambeau to a Tom Brady that just switched, not with his coach anymore, so there's no bias of, he only wins because of Belichick. If he comes into Lambeau and wins this game, that's cementing his legacy, and it's going to hurt Aaron's a lot for the GOAT talk. It's going to be all those Brady riders that are like, well, he did it without all them and still beat Rodgers, so you can't say Rodgers is the GOAT anymore. Which I'm picking Rodgers 100% of the time. I think he is the more talented quarterback 100%. But yeah, I mean, this is a big one for him and his legacy, like you said.
That's a huge one, and once again, it goes to say that all that Green Bay did, all the records they broke, all the things, it won't count unless you bring the Lombardi Trophy back to 100%. The house. So these guys got to put that all in stake and know that what's on the line here is that it's number 12's legacy. You know what I mean? All that crap you did in the season, it doesn't count now, boys. Yep. Yeah, and that first matchup was obviously in Tampa Bay with, I think they had like 10 or 15,000 fans at that game. Now we're going to Lambeau, different game. It's going to be cold weather, like we were talking about earlier. And Lambeau's finally allowing in fans. We had I think they said there ended up being like 9,000 or 9,500. Now they're supposed to go up maybe 15, 20. So it's going to feel like 80,000. It's going to feel like the normal group of people off in there this week. Yep. So it's going to be loud in there, and hopefully they can try and rattle them. I don't think Brady gets rattled at all, but you can try your best. And obviously we were here. We were here last year, NFC Championship, and got absolutely destroyed by San Francisco. But this year it's a whole different team as far as defensively. Our defense is clicking. We have better players defensively, I think, this year than last. And
obviously the offense is just a monster, one of the best, probably top 2 offenses in the NFL.
And the thing about that is that you not only they have a different team, these guys, what I've been seeing these past couple of weeks, these guys have a different swagger, different mindset,
Yeah.
and them guys go out there and play ball. It doesn't look like the Green Bay team I've been seeing for the last 2 or 3 years. You know what I mean? So
yeah, that mentality is all different. Yeah.
I love to see the guys run around the field acting a fool. So it's just something that gets me hype also.
Yeah, for sure. And it's going to be good fun to watch. And last week we still had a lot. I mean, we really have, like you said, they got a 2-headed monster with Jones and Fournette. We're starting to have a 3-headed monster with Jones, Williams, and Dillon.
But the thing with Dillon, we got to see. I haven't heard the injury report on him because he got injured. So you got to count that in a factor as far as cold weather game, and even if he push it to come back, it's pretty tough, man. And especially mindset, rookie, never been in this position. It's going to be a big loss.
Yeah, I honestly think he would be a huge part of this week's game too, with the weather and how the running game might factor in more. And him being that kind of pure power back.
Yes, because you got to know the wear and tear that Jones and them guys have, because they only can run so much now. It's 11th hour of the quarter. These guys they're nicked up and bruised up. So they got to rotate, have the rotation going down pretty well.
Yeah, so hopefully we do. And man, that's 2:05 Lambeau Field this week, and then we got Bills Chiefs right after at 5:40. Who you got between that Bills and Chiefs game?
I'm glad you said that, man. We got to make our picks for the week. Bills Chiefs. I'm taking the Chiefs because once again I'm going to Old Faithful.
Can't go against Mahomes.
But what I am saying is, if Allen wins, he will be the face of the NFL over the Aaron Rodgers, over Aaron Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady's. If Allen beats Mahomes, he will be the face of the NFL.
Really? You got him passing him up.
Yes. If he beats Mahomes, he's the face of the NFL. You got to, because the guy's been playing. He's been playing. Josh Allen been playing lights out. Probably
he really has.
Probably the best quarterback in the NFL. I mean, as far as playing like the best quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah.
Top 5 for sure.
Yeah, and he's got one of the best receivers in Diggs. Man,
it's hard. What's your pick?
I just cannot go against Kansas City and their weapons, man. It's insane, the offensive weapons that they have, from Tyreek Hill to Kelsey to McCole Hardman to it's just so much speed.
Yes.
That it's unreal. I mean, even you look at how that Browns game ended with Henny having the ball and just Tyreek Hill just running a little sprint out, and he's so fast that he's open no matter what.
He's quick. He's quick, man.
It's unreal. And I mean, we'll see if that Bills defense and especially the secondary is pretty good. I mean, they should have had a couple Pro Bowlers. Their safety Pointer, he got kind of screwed out on the Pro Bowl. But we'll see how they can fare against this dynamic Kansas City Chiefs offense. And my thing is, I mean, keeping Mahomes healthy now, because he's going to take a shot.
Yeah, he's going to take a shot. It's that type of game.
Yeah, and if he comes out against the Bills, the Bills aren't going to choke like the Browns. They're going to win that game. So it's a big matter of if he stays healthy.
And that's the type of with the Green Bay Buccaneers, and we got the Chiefs Bills game. These are the type of games where adversity during the course of this game it ain't that it's going to happen. It will happen.
Yeah.
And you just gonna have to adjust on the fly. And man, that's one of those games. You just get this week is one of these games that you get your popcorn ready, just sit back, enjoy it, and seize the moment, man. And so Chiefs, your pick, Chiefs, my pick. Of course, we have the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah,
against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I will be watching that. I know you will be. I know you'll be somewhere watching that. Where you be watching that at, DJ Dex?
I'm gonna watch it at home, and then I got a DJ after at Trinity, so we're gonna throw a little Sunday party there after the game. Have people nice and hyped up, and hopefully celebrating going to a Super Bowl after. So we'll see. It's been a little while.
I know, man. Hey, good, man. Well, it's another episode of The Spin with DJ Dex and I. It's been awesome today, man. And man, we got to root these Packers on before we can get to the Super Bowl, bring that Lombardi trophy back home. And peace out. We'll see you guys next week.
We'll see you guys later.